All right, folks, welcome back. Today is Wednesday, March 22nd, and the market has just closed. I'm still fighting a cold. It's pretty persistent, and yeah, it's not pleasant. I got this like stuffy nose and cough and all that, but doing okay. So all things considering. But this video is just in response to a couple of questions I got on the latest $1 million account update from a user named Same Day New Pain. And I'm going to assume it's a he. If it's a she, I apologize, but I don't know. So here we go. I responded directly on the comment as well, but I figured, these are a couple of good questions, and it's going to be nice to kind of give a more in-depth response live. So first question, what do you do for a living? I've answered this in various responses to the same question. But basically, I manage a small team of data analytics type folks. We work for a pretty big company that provides professional services, and a lot of the work is just reporting on data that we manage for the team. The team's my direct team is about 5 people, but the company is much bigger than that. I've been doing it for a while. Have I always done this? No, but I've always done something related. I've been at the same company for 23 years now, so they've treated me well, and I like the work. It's not that I don't have the intellect to advance to a higher position, but the higher you go in any organization, the more responsibility, the more stress. You get paid more, certainly, but it's up to you to decide if it's going to be worth the stress and the responsibility. You would be expected to be on all the time, pretty much. If you're going to be paid $500,000, whatever the number is, pick a really high number. They bought you. I mean, that's it. You're on all the time, and depending on your personality and your value of your own personal time, that may or may not be for you. A lot of people will say, well, I'll take that for a couple of years and then retire or do something. That usually doesn't happen. If they're going to take that kind of job, their personality is such that they're very driven, and it's going to consume them. It's not to say that I'm not competitive, far from it, from people who know me, but I guess the simplest way for me to say it is that I know when enough is enough, and I value the balance that I have between work and life. And I have a really good balance, so I'm happy with that.
I'm looking for the least possible amount of responsibility.
I'm not hiding per se, but I don't want to just say where I work or exactly what I do. If you search around, you'll find me. It's not tough. All right, question number 2. Why do you refer to investing as, quote, saving? It's a great question. To me, it's just a matter of semantics, because when you save, you're putting that money somewhere. And at its core, you are investing in your future, right? So when you're saving money, you're saving for some delayed gratification, some delayed spend, whatever the case may be. It may be tomorrow, it may be next year, it may be in 10 years. But whenever you're saving, you're investing in your future. Whether you choose to have that in a savings account, in CDs, in bonds, in the stock market, or any other number of investment, you're investing. Where you put those, quote unquote, saving is a factor of your risk tolerance and your time frame and when you think you'll need that money. For me, when I save, it goes basically into my asset allocation that I've set up. So I pretty much fully invested. For me, I don't need the money right away. I have enough liquidity that if I were to have some kind of emergency, I'll sell from my investment, even if it's at a loss. That's not a concern for me. So I have no problem having it be essentially, invested. As to time frame, it doesn't really apply to me. I'm getting near that stage where if I wanted to, I could probably stop working, but there are things in life that I want that requires more money than I can provide for at the current level. So, I'm at it for a couple more years. But to me, it's just a matter of semantics. And when you save, you're investing in your future. So it's appropriate to call it investing, and that's why I do. So if you hear me saying saving or investing or changing between the two, to me, there's no difference. Maybe when you're at the early stage of your accumulation, you would make a distinction between the two, but as you get along, you'll see that there really isn't that much of a distinction. So I hope that helps, but I'm happy to clarify if that didn't. All right, last question for the day. Your Fidelity cash management account, the cash balance, is not getting the 3.5% plus APY that you could get elsewhere. Why not? So this is in response not to that last video that I posted on my $1 million account for March, but about talking about the Fidelity cash management account as really the only account that you could possibly need for the rest of your life. Save for maybe a local bank or credit union that charges you nothing for depositing like real hard cash, right? Dollar bills and coins. So in that video, I mentioned that, you can withdraw cash from ATMs, write checks, do bill pay, buy and invest in stocks and bonds and whatever else, right, with this Fidelity cash management account. And maybe I wasn't clear, but the uninvested cash that's just sitting there for paying bills does participate in Fidelity's FDIC insured bank sweep program. So they have a list of banks that they will sweep your cash into if you're in a cash management account. And you're currently getting about 2.2% interest or slightly more. The last time that I checked, they were sweeping my balances into Citibank. But there's a big list of participating banks, and they'll tell you where your money is going. But the thing that I didn't really mention is that even with the cash management account, you can take that entire cash balance that you're not using and buy a money market fund. And that's actually what I did after the video was posted. I took all the cash that was in the FDIC insured money sweep program and bought SPAXX, SPACs. That's Fidelity Money Market Fund. It's currently earning about 4.4% after fees, so it's actually pretty good. The benefit with owning SPACs in the Fidelity cash management account is that Fidelity will use it to settle checks, ATM, bill pay, and all that stuff, as if it was your core position. What I find is the main difference between like a Fidelity brokerage account and their cash management account is that they don't offer the SPAC as a core position in the cash management account. It's the default core position for the brokerage account. But within cash management account, you can always just liquidate all your uninvested cash and manually buy SPACs and just hold that, get the higher interest, and Fidelity will still use it to settle checks, bill pay, ATMs, whatever. So you're getting the best of both worlds. You do have to initially buy into SPACs, but once you do, they will settle it like they would if it was a core position. So same thing for trades. I'm playing around with having a little bit of that money just invested directly in the spending account. In fact, I'll put it up so you can kind of see it as of today. So you can see that I'm holding SPACs as my kind of core position, even though it's a synthetic core position because I had to buy it. But to me, that's pretty straightforward and easy. If I didn't care for SPACs and really wanted the FDIC insurance, I could leave it in the bank sweep program and get a little bit less interest rate. So I guess the answer to this question is I'm getting more than 3.5%. I just have to take one extra step with a cash management account that I would not have taken or needed to take with my brokerage account at Fidelity. Anyways, thanks to Same Day New Pain. I know what you're going through with that username. Thanks for the questions, and I hope that these detailed responses provide a little bit more context than just the written one. And if anyone else has any questions as it relates to this video or any of my other videos that I've posted, feel free. You could make it to the next topic of my catch-up videos with everybody. All right, thanks and have a good day. Later.